I'm Janel Parrish, and you're watching Best Friends Book Club, discussing the journeys of John and Julia in Chapter 1, Genesis.
Best Friends Book Club!
But I really love the story. I just thought it was such a nice coming-of-age story about finding yourself and believing in yourself and, you know, sticking true to how you really feel.
Hello, readers. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Cam.
And welcome to Best Friends Book Club.
In the previous chapters we just read, Julia's grandmother and her mom are getting really worried, so the cops come to help them out. And they decide to check in on Julia's dad and John. And then Julia has this really insightful conversation with Victor in the taxi cab, and it sort of gives her a new perspective on life, and so she decides to go back to her grandmother's house. So what do you think about Julia's whole evolving moment?
I think it was really cool how all of a sudden everything just hit her and she's like, wait, life isn't so bad. I was overreacting. Like, I don't know, that whole moment for her was really interesting to see. It was nice. It was a nice moment.
Yeah, I think when she was at her grandma's house and stuff, like, she had mini moments of that.
Right.
Like, okay, so let's make the best of this, da-da-da, but, like, she always, like, retreated back into her old self.
Yeah.
And this is the moment where, like, she just, boom, and she couldn't go back. Like, she just...
Yeah. And the whole, like, crying thing, how she was explaining to Victor, like, I feel like I can't even cry without people, like, having me do it a certain way or wanting me to cry a certain way. I thought that was really interesting, and it's, like, true because, you know, like, crying in front of people is, like, the worst. Like,
I know.
And you feel like everyone's judging you, and it's true, like, what she said where he was, like, such a good friend to her by just, like, giving her tissue and, like, letting her cry it out. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I like that. I thought it was interesting how this is Julia's evolving moment, and there was that moment before where she had never seen a butterfly coming out of its cocoon.
Yeah.
So that could have been like she
was,
didn't
like,
know
her.
how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, so she had
She learned earlier on, and then she's like, wait, I can do this now.
Exactly.
Nice, yeah.
It's an interesting metaphor.
Yeah. So how did Victor play into this whole thing for her coming out of her cocoon?
I think it was like a safe house for her. Like, she's out in the middle of the woods crying. She just ran away. She just got this news that she's not going home for another year. Picks her up, and he was just, like, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he bought her breakfast. He told her, sure, you know, I'll take you to your dad's house, whatever. Like, he was just nice. And then he let her open up without judging.
Yeah, that's, like, really important to, like, he finally let her figure things out for herself because everyone else that she was with, like her mom or Kelly, would always be like, oh, you know, you have to be okay, you have to, but he just sat there and listened to her and let her completely open up and kind of talk herself through things because he didn't interject and, you know, tell her certain things, how she had to feel or what his take on it was. He just was there to listen to her and let her figure things out for once.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, her mom wouldn't listen to her. Like, she'd start to say a word and her mom would, like, no, you have to phrase it this way, da-da-da. And so that's why they would get in a fight, because she could never finish what her heart, like, the idea of her thought was, or, like, what her opinion was. Instead of, if it came out phrased slightly wrong, her mom just, like, jumped on her.
Yeah.
And that would cause Julia to just, like, nag back.
Yeah.
Like, just attack. So
she finally got to, like, check in with herself and be like, wait, this is where I'm at. So
yeah. What do you think of the whole relationship between Elizabeth and Teddy?
I think it's interesting. This guy, like, comes in and all of a sudden she's like, oh, I knew this guy in high school. It's weird. It's like reunion, but they're so much older.
Exactly. I mean, like, they're old high school sweethearts getting back to, like, meeting up again.
Yeah.
And, like, she's in the middle of this mess with her ex-husband and her daughter, and he just helps.
Yeah. It kind of makes me wonder if, like, later on they're going to end up dating or, you know, like, getting to... I wonder about that. I'm not sure. I feel like that's kind of what it was leading to. Like, oh, bring back this guy from her past.
Exactly. I mean, like, it's how Julia had Victor to, like, lean on. Like, this is her person to lean on in that moment, because everybody else, like, her daughter's gone, her mom's not as concerned, and like there's this just guy from her past who she can just lean on for a minute.
Yeah.
Help her out.
So it seems like Julia's perspective really changed in that last chapter. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out with her relationship with her mom and with John. Well, I guess that's all the time we have. So see you next time in Best Friends Book Club. Later, duckies.